What's going on, Jaguar fans? Uh, well, you all already know today, earlier today, the first game of the day in London, the Jacksonville Jaguars fell to the Houston Texans for the second time this season. Uh, the first game was a very close game, hard fought game that we should have won 13-12. And then fast forward to this game was not even close. Too many turnovers, too many. We went away from who we are. We were unable to stop our former running back Carlos Hyde on defense. So here we sit now in third place in the AFC South. Now I'm gonna tell you the magnitude of the game before we go into some things to talk about with this game. The magnitude of this game is that Jacksonville won the game, Jacksonville would be sitting tied for first place. They would be sitting tied for first place in the AFC. It would be a three-way tie for first place right now. But since Jacksonville lost the game, Jacksonville is definitely third place because of the other events that occurred today. Let me go over some of the things that occurred today. The Indianapolis Colts lost today. They lost. The first place Indianapolis Colts lost. So with their loss, that gives Houston Texans sole possession of first place in the AFC South. Number two, what happened is that by Jacksonville losing, Jacksonville was the first one on the bubble for making the wild card. Right now, Jacksonville sits at number two on the bubble behind Pittsburgh. We're looking outside. So in other words, we no longer control our own destiny going into as the playoff picture is beginning to shape up. The third thing, of course, that happened was that the Tennessee Titans lost as well. So Tennessee Titans have fourth place in the AFC South. We are third place. But because of the fact that Tennessee and Jacksonville have the same record, we are both in third and fourth, but only because we are tied with the same record. That means Jacksonville does not outwin Tennessee. We will go to the last place in this division. Not only that, uh, there has been so much to make about the quarterback. Let me say something about that. Gardner Minshew came in and played remarkable throughout this season. In game one, in the first quarter, after Nick Foles, our MVP Super Bowl quarterback, came in and scored a marvelous touchdown throw. He threw a marvelous touchdown throw. He was injured. His collar was broken, and he went out of the game. And for the first time in his NFL career, Gardner Minshew came in and he played marvelously as a rookie. Then in game two, we remember we're talking about the Houston game again. He struggled against Houston, but he still brought us back at the very end, remember, and he scored a touchdown. And then the coach, of course, went for two instead of one. It would have been overtime, whatever the case is. And who knows what would have happened after that. In game three, he played marvelous. You know, I believe that's the Tennessee game. Yeah, but going 1-2. Then he, you know, the bottom line is right now under Gardner Minshew, he has led us to a 4-5 record. That is more than you can ask for a backup quarterback to come in green, I mean, not college to pros, and lead an NFL team to a 4-5 records in 9 weeks. I think Gardner Minshew have done a remarkable job. He had a bad game. He had a rough game. But with that being said, he's played marvelously. And he's going to be a great future quarterback for us. But with that being said, we have been rehabilitating for the last 9 weeks. Next week going on 10, and then the following week is week 11. We have an NFL veteran, MVP, Super Bowl quarterback sitting on the bench, waiting to come on back up, listening to everything y'all saying, hearing all the negativity, hearing all what he can't do, what he may or may not be able to do. Nick Foles has proven himself. Nick Foles is a starter. He is the Jacksonville Jaguars starting quarterback. Jacksonville Jaguars need to get behind Nick Foles and get ready to make a run. I feel so strongly about this, just as I text out on the UCF Jags live game stream that he was playing earlier. I feel very strongly about this thing. Very strongly. The Jacksonville Jaguars at 4-5 with the possibility to go to the playoffs. Looking outside in, we have a golden opportunity. Depending on the decision of the coach, it could cost him his job at this point. If you let that NFL MVP quarterback, Super Bowl quarterback sit on the bench that we paying all that money to, you let him sit on the bench, we're going to be in some big trouble. They're not going to do that. And neither should we. Nick Foles deserves to start. He deserves to be able, just because he got knocked out of the game, throwing a touchdown behind a sorry offensive line, does not give him the that doesn't mean that he should be not given his opportunity to play back in the game. Nick Foles, we are rooting for you to come back. We are ready for you to come back, and we are ready to go to the playoffs. I am ready to buy my home field playoff ticket for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm ready for it. Nick Foles will not only come back, and this is my prediction, will not only come back and lead us to the playoffs, but right here today, on November the 3rd, you heard it from my site first. The Jacksonville Jaguars, with Nick Foles in the lineup, now, will go 11-5. 11-5. That means we're going to tear off 7 straight victories. That's right. With Nick Foles in the lineup, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to go 11-5. And what that means to go 11-5, that means we'd have to defeat the Indianapolis Colts twice. We got to defeat the Tennessee Titans 1 time. We got to defeat the Raiders We got to defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe I land. Let me see. The Colts. The Colts. That means sweeping the Colts. Uh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's 3. Uh, we got to beat Tennessee again. That's 4. Uh, um, I can't remember the other 3 that we played, but that's 7 games. Starting with the next game is going to be it's going to be in Indianapolis. We'll be playing the Colts when we come back, and then we play the Titans. So and then they're going to come here and play Tennessee. No, they come here and play Tampa Bay. Yeah, Tampa Bay. So that's one of them. Tampa Bay, Oakland, the Colts, the Titans. I can't remember the other 2. Oakland Raiders. That's 6, and I can't remember the remainder. But that Colts, the last Colts. So we're gonna go there and beat the Colts after the bye. That's gonna be Nick Foles' return. We beat the Colts after the bye, and then we have a rematch of the Colts in Jacksonville on the last game of the season for a chance to win the division. That's going to be the AFC South Championship. So, like I said, this is the season that's going to redeem our players, our defense, our offense, and then we have so much potential coming on after this. But I'm telling you right now, this here, even though this is a big loss, it was a big loss. It hurts. It hurts. 26-3. We couldn't even get 2 field goals. There's a big transition coming in Jacksonville at the quarterback position. That's going to be a different. But with that being said, let's deal with another aspect of the game. Jacksonville has a lot of injuries right now. A lot of injuries. Now, we'll see that Houston team. We'll see them in the playoffs. Maybe. But with that being said, we have a lot of starters that are injured right now. That needs this 2 weeks to kind of get themselves back healthy. So that game in Indianapolis, you're going to see a Jacksonville Jaguar team that have their star MVP quarterback, Super Bowl quarterback, marching out there and playing marvelously for the first time in Indianapolis. And Nick Foles will not disappoint you guys, man. So please, we got to get behind this man. And we can congratulate Gardner Minshew, but we got to get behind Nick Foles and give him our support. He coming in at a very difficult time of the season to pick up the pieces and to do what he has to do. It's not his fault that somebody hit him and broke his collarbone. So let's wake up, let's get up, and let's man up and support our team, and let's support our quarterback. Now, once again, this is a situation that we've put ourselves in. With the loss, Jacksonville falls to 3rd place behind the Indianapolis Colts, who has a 1-game lead over us for 2nd place. The Colts are 4-5, 5-4 rather, and we're 4-5. I'm sorry, that's not accurate. The Colts are 6-2. I got to get this together here. Actually, the Colts are 6-3. 5-2. They 5-2. They 5-2. They 5-2. So the Colts are 5-2. The Texans are. Let me see. Here we go. The Colts are. Let me see. Here we go. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. In the AFC right now, okay, here's the AFC. In the AFC right now, the Colts 5-3, but Houston winning today are 6-3. But Houston will be off next week, so Houston is praying that the Colts lose again. So the Colts control their own destiny with the AFC South. The AFC leading person, of course, is the Patriots. The Patriots are 8-0. The second place in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens at 5-2. Well, the Colts just cost themselves second place, a possibility of second place. If the playoff was today, the Colts would be the sixth seed in the playoffs, and the Texans would be the third seed. But of course, we know uh, the Colts are 5-3, and so they have to play a game next week, whereas the Texans will be off. The Kansas City Chiefs is fourth seed right now at 6-3. They lead in their division. The fifth seed in that division is the Buffalo Bills, who's 6-2. Now, mind you, they're 6-2, and they're the fifth seed, which puts a strain on Jacksonville because we're 4-5. Okay, now these are the teams that are outside of the playoff in the AFC. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's now 4-4. They're the seventh seed. They're the seed right outside the playoff. Jacksonville's loss put them to the eighth seed at 4-5. We're the eighth seed. The Tennessee Titans is the ninth seed. So they're just wanting Jacksonville to keep losing. And they got to hope that Jacksonville and the Steelers and one more team lose out. The Raiders are a 10th seed. Now, the reason why I point about the Raiders because we play the Raiders. The Chargers, that's the other team that we play. The Chargers is the 11th seed, and we play the Chargers. Now, after that, of course, the Browns is the 12th, Broncos 13, the Dolphins 14, Jets is the 15th seed, and the Bengals is the last seed in the AFC at 16 and 0-8. So once again, the top of our conference of the AFC is the New England Patriots, the defending Super Bowl champions, are 8-0, and they're the first seed. Currently, the Baltimore Ravens is 5-2, and they're the second seed in our conference. Followed by the Houston Texans, who is 6-3 after defeating Jacksonville. They're now currently the third seed. Followed by Kansas City Chiefs, who's currently the 4th seed at 6-3, and the Buffalo Bills is the 5th seed. And now, because of that big loss, the Colts have dropped from the 3rd seed to the 6th seed in the which is the final playoff spot in the AFC. Going into this is week 9 now, but the end of week 9, this is going into week 10 though. On it, who's on the outside, who's on the bubble? You have the top 2 teams on the bubble, or 3 teams that we are concerned about. Really 5. Starts with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is the 7th seed. They're the team that's right above us. They're the 7th seed. Then, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars is the 8th seed. The Tennessee Titans is the 9th seed. They're the team that's right below us. The Raiders, who we play, is the 10th seed. They're 2 teams down, but they're 3-4. We're 4-5. The Chargers are the 11th seed. So this is the current picture that's looking. It's going to change a little bit because we got a couple games that are playing now. We got the Raiders playing. The Raiders are winning, which means they're going to move up, and Jacksonville will drop down. You have we got a couple teams that are playing. So the Raiders are winning. Their win going to push them up to the 7th seed, or to the 8th, 7th or 8th seed, and it's going to drop Jacksonville and Tennessee down even further. It just show you the magnitude of this game that we lost today. So you got Buccaneers. Buccaneers are losing. Seattle is winning. Seattle is on the other side. They're the NFC. So, but the Buccaneers, well, they were down anyway. But anyway, that means nothing to us. Let's see, the Chargers. The Chargers are winning. They're blowing out. The Chargers are winning. The Chargers is 3. So the Chargers will go from 11th. They'll move up. They will move up. But who will they move up on? Either Tennessee, both Tennessee and Jacksonville. They're going to be tied with Tennessee. And this thing is going to be really tight. Chargers are winning. So, and we got to play them. So every game here on out is going to be extremely important. Every game. Every single one of the games we play. This was a bad Sunday for us. It was a really bad loss. Really bad loss. It put us in a precarious situation. So now we're going to have to win out. And for my take, I feel that we can. And I feel like the only way we can win out at this point is with Nick Foles as our quarterback. And we need a healthy offensive line. And we need just to make a run. We need to improve the way we're doing our. And the thing about it is we just have to take this one game at a time, and we got to go out there and we got to make this thing happen. So, in my final assessment, just want to say Jacksonville is now at the 8th seed, but by the end of the day, they're probably 10th or 11th seed, and we're just gonna have to climb ourselves back up out the hole. But the only way to do that is we're gonna have to win game by game. One thing is we're gonna have to take down the Colts. We got a chance. 2 games on the Colts. We got to take them down. We control our own destiny at this point. We do control our own destiny because we have a chance. We can take down the Colts. We can beat the Titans. We can beat the Raiders, the Chargers, and then the team of in Tampa. So every game to us is a playoff game from here on out. From here on out this season, every game is a playoff game. One more loss for Jacksonville, they're done. They're done for this. Every game is a must win now. All right. So Duval, go Jag.